minutes ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Green, 39.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
4 down. Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Leopard. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this will remain a scoreless game. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On second down, Collins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
There's Jackson on third and long. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Being chased out left. Open man there is Patterson, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's White. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a carry for White. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out.
Now, Barney! Check!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Jackson got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Jackson looking to throw on third. He's going deep for Brent. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Patriots coming out now and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
start the drive with a give to White. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick: make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, 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 gun.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended target. 3rd down here. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
New England on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Leopard! Leopard!
This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
To the right side and complete to Hurst. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, good move. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by White. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And get that to Michelle, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now White. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. third down. That's White down to the 25. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
To return, here's Chris Conley. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
No gain on the play there, second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They go again with Collins. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Detroit!
On third down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And again, it's Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Now Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
To throw is Jackson. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back now in Foxborough. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. Blue Liner. Blue Liner.
Now it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken very short. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
They pitch it out to Collins. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Jackson now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Lucky 56. Leopard. Gone.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Here's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll come out throwing here on first down. This is White on the screen. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 6 there on the first down play. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37th.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here's Collins. And now running right through it. Oh, and now some space to operate. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On third down, it's White, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. Broken tackle for Kelly. He finds some open field here. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. This is Collins on the toss. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first, they go right back to Collins. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Baltimore, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.